We have a subsidiary out here. We've been here since 1982, so that's almost more than 34 years now. So we have a subsidiary which has got 7 branches. We are headquartered in Mississauga, and we are essentially a retail bank. We have a license for both retail and corporate, but we do a lot of retail banking out here. So essentially, I think the subsidiary was opened when we started following the diaspora, a large number of Indians coming into Canada. And then over the years, we have evolved into a full-service bank. So we have strong plans for Canada. We want to grow this business out here. We are looking at expanding our footprint through the digital mode. We don't propose to have too many brick and mortar branches, but we have a fairly good coverage. Canada is a large country, far larger than India. So we have a presence on the East Coast, which is Toronto. We are on the West Coast, which is Vancouver, and we have 4 branches in between. We propose to increase the footprint, as I mentioned, through the digital platform. And we also want to stay relevant with the evolved demographics of the Indo-Canadian population.
In fact, Canada is just one of the 35 countries that SBI is in. You've opened your first branch quite recently in Myanmar. So if I could understand, what is the plan? Let's talk about a 5-year horizon. What is the plan for SBI 5 years from now when we talk about the overseas business?
Overseas business is a mix of expansion and rationalization. Rationalization because if you look at some of the large global banks like, for example, Barclays, and even some of the other large multinational banks, they have been contracting. They have been contracting their sizes. For example, Barclays pulled out of Africa. So we are looking at our operations, our presences across the globe in terms of opportunities, in terms of potential in certain geographies where we can look at expansion, as opposed to certain other geographies, matured markets where we are not making any money. For example, we recently closed down our branch in Paris. So it's a mix. It's not like we want to expand into 40 countries. Neither do we want to contract into 15 countries. We are looking at opportunities. We're looking at the earnings potential of various geographies. So that's the overall, overarching strategy for SBI.
And in fact, you recently broke into the top 50 banks of the world. That's certainly a landmark moment.
It is.
I want to ask you, do you have ambitions of breaking into the top 10?
See, top 10 is, of course, aspirational. We broke into the top 50 primarily because of the merged balance sheet. These rankings are done on various parameters. Sometimes they're done on the basis of balance sheet, the asset size. Sometimes it's done on the basis of market capitalization. Sometimes it's done on the basis of the kind of capital that you are carrying. So these rankings could mean different things for different people. Yes, the aspiration is to break into the top 30, but that will take us a while.
Top 30 and then top 10, I would imagine.
If you look at the banks, the large global banks, they have actually grown in size and gone up the ranking ladder primarily through mergers and acquisitions, inorganic growth. So we just had a huge merger.
Yes, of course.
Okay, right. So I don't think we are looking at another set of mergers and acquisitions at this point of time. But yes, aspirationally, that is the direction that we want to move.